You guys, so as much as I love Airbnb, sometimes long-term rentals do perform better. One of my students is actually part of the Versace family. She's not only just a realtor, she's a mom, a powerhouse, and a good friend. So Karen is extremely ambitious. She already owns a dozen of rental properties, 6 of which she uses as a traditional rental, and the others as an Airbnb. How much are you making right now?
$51 per day.
How many nights are you rented for?
Maybe like 22 nights.
So you make like $1,000 or $1,500 a month. That's
Yes.
beautiful. And today, Karen invited me to this property here at Beverly Hills, and we're gonna use a tool called AirDNA to see if the property is suitable for Airbnb.
We have the high voltage ceiling.
Now, right off the bat, some of you may think that Airbnb works for all property, especially if it comes with a tag like Beverly Hills, but you might be in for a surprise, so stay until the end. You see, this is the major distinction between long-term real estate versus Airbnb. When somebody's buying a property or renting it, they typically walk the home first. So having like an expansive view like this, something beautiful and picturesque, makes an impact, right, on the way that you can sell it. Whereas Airbnb, they make their decision based off of photos. Airbnb world is much more creative staging. You know, that translates to much more dollars because it's hard to have them understand how beautiful this is. But now that I'm here, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
this is beautiful.
Exactly. So it's easy to rent out, but I don't know if it's for long term or for Airbnb.
We're gonna find out.
Okay. And there's a balcony. We can go there in the balcony to like maybe when you're sipping coffee in the morning, you go here and you just look with the view.
All right, so let's take a moment and then let's talk about whether or not this property is good for long term or for Airbnb.
Okay.
I understand, Karen, I understand why you're so passionate about this property. As soon as I arrived and we were met with these expansive floor-to-ceiling windows, and I saw the view, I was like, yo, this place is...
It's 180-degree spectacular views.
It's $1 million view. Let's see if the numbers translate on Airbnb. So one of the biggest thing that people have misconception is, if it's amazing in a regular real estate market, they think that it's amazing
Yeah,
in
in Airbnb.
So instead of going with our assumption, we're gonna look at analytics right now. So to do that, I go to airdna.co to look at the analytics. And I just look at nearby similar properties, see how much they're earning, what their occupancy rate is, because it's all public data, right? We can figure out how much they're charging and how often they're rented. So if you look at this, so this property is nearby, where we're at now. It's also a 3-bed, 3-bath, and it's $522 a night, which is decent,
Right.
right? But it's only occupied 27%. So what that means is it's about 9 nights out of the month that it's occupied. At $500 times 9 nights, you're making about $4,500 a month. It's not even half of what the rent is here, right? Let alone utilities, pool guy, gardener.
Because I can rent this out long term for $10,000 to $11,000 per
10 to
month.
11,000 a
Yeah.
month, exactly. And when you do that, you're not responsible for the utilities.
Oh yeah.
On Airbnb, you guys have to remember, you're covering utilities, you're covering water, garbage, internet, pool guy, you're covering everything. So you have to factor that into your forecast, right? So in order for this deal to really make sense, our average daily rate should really be around at least $700 a night, minimum, okay? And we need to at least be about 75% occupied on average. After properly researching this property, we found that it's not suitable for Airbnb. It actually makes way more sense to use this house as a regular traditional rental. So the lesson here that I want you guys to take away is not every property is suitable to be used as an Airbnb. It's absolutely critical that you move forward with the research process to make sure that there are other successful hosts already in your area. By figuring out that other people have already been successful with Airbnb, this significantly increases your chance of being successful and increases the amount of money that you can earn.
My biggest question is if I should put this one on Airbnb or should I put this as a long-term tenant?
So now, after being here, I know how amazing that view is, and I see the data. 100% you should do a long-term rental of this property because it's hard to sell this view through Airbnb.
Right.
And then other people are not making the money, right? So we save our time.
Right.
As an agent here, you can take the commission here to get a different Airbnb property.
That's correct. So that one answers my question. Before I get into a 1-year contract.
Before you commit yourself, You already.
I was
know what
even
you
gonna
make.
do 2-year contract
just to
get the property.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine that if I didn't ask you and we didn't analyze this.
That would have been a shock. you
Yeah.
know? Like that would have set you back. Now that we found out that the Beverly Hills one doesn't work, Karen actually has a second property in West Hollywood. We're gonna go visit that property to see if this one works for Airbnb. Pulling up to this property, I see that there is a gated fence, which is good. You want privacy so people can't see cars pulling in and out, which is amazing. And then after divulging into AirDNA, I see that there is a possibility for us to make some money on Airbnb with this property. Now, what's really cool about this property, as soon as we stepped in, half of the place is already furnished. All this is staying?
Yeah.
What? Dude, you scored.
I did.
You scored, and it's furnished?
Yes.
I can't tell you how much of an advantage that is because you save a ton of money. Normally, to buy all the furniture here, just like the way that it looks now, I don't see the utensils or that much art, but just all the larger pieces here, everything combined, it's easily 10, 12,000. Now here's the catch. It is in West Hollywood, which is an area that you cannot do Airbnb. You have to do something called midterm rentals. This is when you rent a property for longer than 30 days at a time. So one reservation, one guest, one check-in, 30-day plus. When you do this, in this area, depending on the season, you can make anywhere between $8,000 to $15,000 per month. Mind blown. For a midterm rental, it's really easy to get your property started. All you need to do is create the exact same Airbnb listing and set a 30-day minimum and apply a monthly discount to the property. That way, Airbnb knows your listing is specifically targeting those longer-term reservations, which is a good thing if you can't do short-term rentals.
Yeah, all of these are gonna stay.
Okay, well,
I just need a TV.
we got your first Airbnb. Okay, we're gonna try it out.
Okay.
Our forecast is we're gonna put it up for $16K to
Okay.
start.
Okay.
Your cost is $85, so you're
Yes.
gonna make about after Airbnb fees and expense minus $1,000, so you'll make $6,500 a month
Okay.
on average net. So that's over $72,000 a year profit, one unit.
Wow.
So I'm extremely happy for Karen that she found such a good property. Now all she needs to do is really tailor in and focus on her pricing. She needs to adjust to pricing, to supply and demand. If it's slow season, obviously the prices need to come down until there is a renter. If it's peak season, that's when you raise the prices because you need to charge the proper amount during the proper season. Stay tuned, you guys. Follow along to see updates on Karen and how these properties perform in the long run. With that said, you know what to do. Like this video, share with a friend, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.